Swanglin Show, episode 29, Stuck in the Blizzard, in the Igloo of the Midwest, is Joshua P. Dunn with my man, Kyle Newkleus, Holsinger, the state champion.
What up?
The only halfway babyface at this point. Co-host, what's happening, bro?
Excited to be here, off work because of the blizzard, so let's get it in. What's up, folks?
Now, today is like the miraculous thing, dude, that like never happens. We get the snow day, the adult snow day.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? That we get to take a fucking snow day midweek. This cold weather done came in here and fucked it all up. The roads are all icy. We're under level 3 conditions where they're telling you can't leave the fucking house. The roads are so bad. So it takes me back, to being younger and being in school and waking up and finding out that you don't have to go to school and that it's snow day. What would be your, say Kyle's 12-year-old boy in Cary, Ohio, when you were the original fickle freckled boy and they announced a snow day, what was your go-to move?
I would have probably watched some TV, played some video games, most likely like Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl, or a sports game of that sort. And then I probably would have went outside, depending on how much snow, because even if it was a lot, I would have done like snow forts. But if it wasn't as much, we probably would have played football or, we would play a lot of football in the snow.
Yeah, definitely. We used to get down playing football in the snow as well, too. And for me, a big thing for the snow day was I always would be shuffling in and out VHS tapes of pro wrestling shit from all over the world.
Nice.
Not just stuff from the United States. I was getting stuff from Mexico and stuff from Japan. And it was really going hard with the pro wrestling tapes around that time period. So I catch a snow day, dude. I'm on that VCR. You know what I'm saying? I might have me a big ass bowl of like some peanut butter Captain Crunch cereal, and I might watch pro wrestling for 4 fucking hours straight. I may have not been smoking doobies watching those goddamn pro wrestling matches, dude, as a kid. You never know. We were wilding at a young age on the Swanglin Show. So, do you remember episode 14 we did? We're on episode 29 now, so we're talking about there's been a large gap where me and you sat in a car and recorded a podcast episode just on the iPhone.
Yes.
And we called it Swanglin in the Rain because we just sat there in the car in the pouring rain. So that leads me to the suggestion for the show title, Swanglin on Ice.
It's fitting with what the hell is out there behind me right now.
And I always kind of envisioned that that experience, Swanglin on Ice, would be like we would be in Northern California and we're with some truckers,
Like the ice road trucking ass,
yeah, dude, or
Swanglin on Ice. I think Swanglin on Ice is like a trailer park.
Yeah, someone's strung out on methamphetamine, dude, so they're swangling on ice.
Dude,
whoa.
Yeah.
So I just looked out the window and it's like fucking super white out, fucking snow flying everywhere. It's icy. And we're just chilling on the Swanglin Show, enjoying this down day, chopping it up about this super fucking cold, crazy weather. So I remember also one thing I used to enjoy a lot that I never do anymore is going sledding. When was the last time you went sledding?
Oh man, it's been years. And the kids have gone sledding already this year. They do it outside the house. We have a little bit of a hill and they use that to have a kind of sled thing going on. But every time that it always seems like I have to work, even though they're off and stuff. So we had talked about doing some sledding later, but my kids they're with their mother today. So, I'm not doing that, but Jackson wants to, and we're going to see about if he can do some sledding. There's And in Cary, we have our park. There's a park that has a hill. It's called Shrine Park, and it works out to go sledding there if you so desire.
That's what's up, man. I have a crazy memory of going sledding when I was a kid. I was with my cousin, and he was bigger than me. And I went down the hill, and I didn't know that he was coming down directly behind me.
Oh,
so like when I stopped, I jumped up like, hey, you know, but as I was jumping up, he just fucking roasted me, dude. I had like the worst big, like this whole area blacked out for like fucking 2 weeks.
damn.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that we had a rule like about that. Like you had to see the other person. But another thing I forgot about sledding, right? So I lived just outside of Cary in the country, and my grandmother lived a quarter mile down the road. And in between us was at one point her daughter's house. She owned it and rented it out. Well, in my aunt's property, would be in the middle there. There's a hill at the top of the hill, and before they had Mount Trashmore, which is like the dump here and the waste dump just outside of Cary, it's in Wyandotte County. It was the highest elevated point in Wyandotte County. And we used to sled on the back side of that. On the front side, everyone could see it from the road, but on the back side, we just could sled all day and no one would know we're there and no one would bother us. So we would do that though, but we would look for the guy because sometimes at the bottom of it, it would be like you could just fall in and be like fully immersed in snow. Like just when so we had a rule you had to see the other guy coming up before you started to go down. But that was me and the neighborhood kids though. But that was exactly why, because we had some hits and near accidents and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Rule.
And we had some pretty wild football related accidents too. Cause dude, I remember that sometimes there's nothing wilder than the backyard snowy, 8 to 10 person football game. Because I've seen some fist fights even happen over, some questionable and risky tackles and things like that. I've seen some siblings throw down. I've probably thrown down with my siblings or, playing football in the yard or doing whatever. So it's like fucking wild to see. I feel like later in life when I have kids and stuff, I want to make sure I'm getting my ass out there to play football again in the snow once again. And I'll probably blow a knee. Have to go on fucking FMLA, fuck everything up, man. What do you think about that?
I think it's an eventuality. I think a lot of dads are going to run into that and realize they don't got it like they used to. There's a certain point where you're like, whoa, man, and then there's a certain point where the kid is going to physically when they get to like 15, 16, they're like, yeah, he's got me in ball.
Oh, for sure. Hopefully earlier,
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully like 12, 13, because then that means your kid's a fucking on a good path on the sport.
Or you could just be me who's having kids later in life. I'm going to be fucking 50 when my kid's 13. So
yeah, they're going to be
he's going to be 7 years old. He's going to be smoking me bright and early on the Swanglin Show, episode 29. We're snowed in the Midwest. This crazy fucking storm came through and fucking roasted us like a goddamn pepper in the oven when you're trying to make some goddamn pepper sauce. You know what I'm saying? Dude. So we got a bunch of shit to talk about, man. The world is going crazy right now. Especially in the sports world, man. The stage is set for Super Bowl 56. You know what I'm saying? You got the NFC, champion, LA Rams at home with home field advantage against, the team that we're rooting for, the AFC champion underdog, Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Coach Zach Taylor. They're putting it down for Cincinnati right now, looking real hungry. So we made our predictions earlier, in a previous episode. None of us were right. Nobody fucking called the Cincinnati. No one had the fucking, maybe when we did that episode, had CJ been on the show, maybe he would have been the one to be like, no, we're going all the way. Cause he probably would have.
If anyone would, it would have been him, but I don't know what he would have said then, because I don't know. I had not watched them all year, really. I mean, I seen, like, I'd flip through and see like a few seconds, but I did not really watch the Bengals. They're not my team. I'm a Browns fan. So I did check in on them when they were beating the hell out of the Ravens, though. That was a hell of a game. I'm telling you right now, at that time, I'm like, man, maybe the Ravens are really bad this year, but maybe the Bengals really are that good this year.
Well, I think this season, I'm a Dolphins fan, like the Swanglin Show listeners know. The Dolphins beat Baltimore this season as well, and beat them pretty badly. So maybe it's a testament to maybe they're just having an off season in that regard in some ways. But
maybe it was both. Maybe it's both. The Bengals are that good and the Ravens are that bad. I get what you're saying. Because they beat them like that twice, didn't they?
Yeah. I just love the story right now of the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm rooting for them. I want to see them bring that championship home to Ohio and kind of develop the Bengals organization a little bit more, because from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, as an organization, they're kind of behind in the times as far as their training facilities and practice facilities and things like that. So maybe winning a Super Bowl will drive some extra revenue to the city of Cincinnati to where they can upgrade and be able to take better care of their players and do more for the community and stuff like that. So major shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals. We want to see you win the world championship on the Swanglin Show. It to me, though, is kind of a shame, because, like, you think about football in the Midwest and it's February. You want to see Cincinnati Bengals play for the fucking world championship in the snow. We want to see exactly what we were just talking about, that backyard football game, but for the title in the NFL. And it's never going to happen, probably because they never schedule the Super Bowl in a cold weather city that's not a dome stadium, because I think because of maybe production reasons.
I think if they just didn't want the weather to change who the true champion was. You know what I mean? They didn't want to be like, well, they only won because it was cold out. You know, like this truly was the better team. So they try to have the best weather possible, put it in dome stadiums. That way it's just who's the best. But didn't they play it at Lambeau one year or something? Didn't they do one out in the cold, or New York City or something?
I believe they did.
Like in the last 15 years or something. But the reason is they like the warmer weather. But I feel like there should be a stipulation in these games, like the national championship game for college football or something, where, like, if it's a fucking home game, they move it to a neutral site. Like, I feel like it shouldn't. Even though I have seen situations where the home team and for a title fucking gets their ass handed to them on their home field. I just don't feel like that should ever be able to be said, though. You know what I mean? When we're talking competitions, I'm always like,
one thing I think is kind of strange is, like, I've never really heard of having home field advantage in the Super Bowl being a thing. And ironically, it's happened back to back. Last year, Tampa Bay played and won the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing, man. That shouldn't be allowed, especially in the NFL. I get it, because, like, it takes a lot of planning for that, and that, you can't just change shit. But I feel like the NFL is big enough that they could have cities on standby. You get 2 weeks notice as far as for sure locked in. But, the only chance it's going to be in your city, you have a 1 in 32 chance, unless it's in New England or something.
Right. Fuck. That's what I want to see is, that epic battle in the frozen environment, the metaphor to the Cold War. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fucking
I'd like to see that,
legitimate Cold War is playing football in the fucking snow. Now, speaking of Cold War, there's a bunch of shit going on in the news right now about Russia. I know you wanted to chop it up about that deal.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be off camera here. I want to check out this article so I get my facts right. But okay. I just want to make sure, as I'm saying this, I don't get it wrong. But the article is from the Associated Press by Mike Porter, and it's called Ukraine-Russia Crisis, What to Know About Rising Fear of War. Okay, so here are the things that you should know. Here are the things to know Thursday about the international tension surrounding Ukraine, which has at least 100,000 Russian troops massed along its borders. The United States warning of a Russian false flag operation. U.S. intelligence indicates that the Russian government has developed a plan to stage a false attack that would depict the Ukrainian military or its intelligence forces assaulting Russian territory, a senior Biden administration official said Thursday. The plan includes production of a graphic propaganda video that would show staged explosions. It would use corpses and actors depicting grieving mourners, according to the official, who was not authorized to comment and spoke on the condition of anonymity. The plan, which was revealed in declassified intelligence shared with Ukrainian officials and European allies in recent days, is the latest allegation by the U.S. and Britain that Russia is plotting to use a false pretext to go to war against Ukraine. White House is concerned that the video, if released, could provide Putin the spark it believes he is looking for to credibly put military action in motion in Ukraine. Another thing to know is there have been diplomatic efforts to defuse the crisis. The Turkey's leader, Erdogan, has offered to have everyone meet in his backyard and, try to talk it down. Also, NATO has claimed and told reporters that there is significant Russian troop buildup in Belarus too, which is also on the border of Ukraine. So Russia is not only on their border with Ukraine, they're using other Belarus's border as well, and they're going to have war games with them that are going to take place February 10th through 20th. And obviously, the intelligence is going to monitor the preparations for that and watch that go down. Let's see what else we got here. French is sending troops to Romania over it. They're under NATO command, and France is committed to the NATO alliance and its members in the Eastern Europe. So France is putting troops on the ground. Ukrainian defense minister is urging everyone to be calm because they're right in the middle of it. They have Russian troops on their border. And then Putin is going to be heading to the Winter Olympics which is hosted by China, and the president of China, Xi Jinping, and him are going to meet with each other while they are there.
Do you know NATO?
Hopefully I don't know NATO, but that's like some of the recent stuff. Now the background stuff of what's going on is in 2014, Russia took a portion of Ukraine called Crimea. They also are in an area. They're trying to take over another part of the border. Is called Donbass, and there's been fighting there with insurgents of Donbass natives with some help from allies have been fighting to keep that Ukrainian. And then they're amassed along a lot of other portions and have taken are trying to seize more and more land here. My opinion on all of this, I'm going to come back to the video now, man, is that when he took Crimea, it was in 2014 when Obama was president. Trump was not president yet. So there's things he's done since then while Trump was president, and then now since Biden's been president. So the landscape of what was going on then is different now. In between when he first started this stuff with Ukraine and then Trump was president, and Trump allowed Putin to do kind of whatever he wanted. Didn't really care. He was kind of pro-Russia. So Putin was getting what he wanted as far as the world affairs because the United States took a seat down and stepped back from world affairs and what we do. And now that it has gone back to a Democratic administration like Biden, and they're looking at maybe sanctions and stuff for some of those actions, he is putting troops along more of Ukraine to threaten, hey, if you are going to come down harder, he's using Ukraine as a bargaining chip to get better business deals and situations that are starting to go awry because he doesn't have the coverage he did when Trump was president.
Well, I don't have much.
That's my personal assessment. That has to do with following the situation since Crimea and following Putin's actions while different presidents have been in power, and how American presidents and other world leaders handle him. The world is, the pandemic changed a lot of stuff in the world. Like, I feel like they talk about the new world order and like the way things are. Like, when there post World War II, there was a way things were, and then when Russia fell, the USSR fell, that became like a change. There was a vacuum of power that changed, and then after 9/11, I think stuff shifted a little bit. But since this pandemic and just in the last 5 years, the world has been changing. The United States is no longer the top dog.
Well,
in certain ways.
Why does I always feel like there's this you had mentioned and said it in a way as far as like the way that the United States handled foreign president Putin, right?
Yeah.
Why has it always been a thing to where it's like the United States has to be like the fucking police of the entire fucking world? Why is it that our diplomatic system always feels like we got to be checking people in other areas and spending all this money on the military industrial fucking complex to fucking just wreak havoc in some of these places and come up very underhanded in a lot of places? Like you see the scenario in Afghanistan and shit, what's going on out there. Like, we created a fucking clusterfuck for these people and spent a lot of money to do it. And you see a potential for, in any of these foreign affairs, for that same type of thing to repeat itself. And it's like, I'm not huge into politics, as you know, and that's why I'm glad that you're the one talking about these issues, because you can inform some of the listeners of the Swanglin Show. But, the United States, to me, seems kind of like, when it comes to foreign policy, we're almost like bullies in a way. We're like fucking Debo.
Yeah.
And is that because we don't want anybody else to have the military power to be a bigger power than us? Or what is your opinion of the way that they work that?
All right. So the military industrial complex, I believe it is a real thing. I think the U.S. has made serious foreign policy blunders because of it. Vietnam and a lot of them. War makes money, and war made money before there was even a United States. Like, that's been a thing since the medieval times, even before then. People make money off of making weapons for militaries and stuff. And when war isn't happening, they don't make as much money, and stocks go down and stuff. So, but I want to give, all right. So the reason why we have to have a military, presence other places, and then also, the reason why we have to do that is, there are psychopaths and sociopaths in this world, Adolf Hitler being one of them. And also there's some like serial killers and people, when a psychopath or a sociopath.
He said it, you just took it real quick, went down the list. You went from the worst person to ever live to somebody else to it could be your neighbor. Oh, yeah. It's thick out here on the Swanglin Show.
If sociopaths and psychopaths get enough power to where they have a control of a military, really bad stuff can happen really fucking fast, dude. And we learned that with the Holocaust and with other things in the world too. And so the United States
also, when you, even on a smaller scale, when you see people with those personality disorders like psychopath shit, sociopath shit, these people implode everything that they get their hands on and get control of. Even the smallest relationship down to, the person that they meet at the corner store, or that they see at the fucking corner store and they talk to every day. They end up fucking that up too. So imagine the magnitude of fuckery that could happen putting one of these people in charge of a military or a government or even a company or, anything like that. But go back to what you were saying. Sorry.
No, there's psychos that are controlling militaries in the world now. But if we don't have a strong military to put these people down at some point, bad things can happen. People that could be slaughtered and a genocide be committed just for their beliefs, just for stuff they're doing, that and they're minding their own fucking business. You know what I mean? Sitting at home, practicing their faith in their home, and just not good enough, you're dead. And so, but beyond that, I do want to point out that some of the foreign policy blunders we've had was the Gulf of Tonkin incident with Vietnam, which was a lie. that led us into war. And then also the war in Iraq, there was no weapons of mass destruction that have ever been found. Never been found. That means they fucking lied. They fucking lied. The American government fucking lied to us. And that's not on the American government. You can't put the American government on trial for doing that. But you can put someone on trial that actually made the decisions to do that, like former President George W. Bush, Vice President Dick Cheney, the people that went on the bogus intelligence that they went with this whacked out source. I remember back in the day, it was British intelligence said this one thing, and that means we have to fucking go to war with Iraq. Bogus. So many people that you and I know and went to school with are, fucked up because they had to go over there and see some shit, or worse.
Yeah, this is true. Actually, that's a very good point that you bring up. A lot of that time period, especially like around 2003, 2004, 2005. There's a lot of people that we know that definitely were deployed into the Middle East, and a lot of them do probably have some post-traumatic stress. And I'm pretty sure that there's probably combat veterans from our area that lost their lives in that whole deal too. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's people all across this country that can say that. So, people that know what the truth is and then know what to look for when it comes to being able to trust the leaders and the things that they're saying and everything else. You got to understand what business is primarily before you fucking can even get a full grasp of what some of these people's intentions can be, because it's a cold world when we're snowed in. On the Swanglin Show, episode 29. I got the baby face in the building with me, the homecoming king, the fickle freckle boy, the fucking Angelo's Pizza fucking gift certificate holder, the one that's holding it down as the state champion. I got to ask you a question, Kyle. So it seems like in the world, people, especially like high-ranking people, they always have this like male, like arrogant fucking bravado that everybody fucking, like, they allow people to put their foot in their mouth and like basically play this fucking big totem pole, who's got a bigger dick, fake aggression fucking game. Yeah. And those people always rise to prominence. Why do you think it is that this characteristic exists? I don't think that it like really is as masculine as what people think. But what's your thoughts on that?
Well, remember, Vladimir Putin like took pictures like riding horseback with his shirt off. So you want to talk about like fucking trying to project masculinity? There's your fucking guy.
Well, no,
right there.
That's what we need to do. Swanglin Show calendar. Marinated Mitch on the fucking Black Beauty. Mitch Howard.
But all right. I do want to point out back to what I was saying though, just as to why we do that. So the lie happened. There's people that have fucked up on the job, but that doesn't mean America has to have a continuous foreign policy. You can't just not deal with the world. The reason why that we should continue to do it is because, and give aid to other nations, is because we use that for intelligence gathering purposes. We are allowed to operate our intelligence services and fact find and do whatever we got to do to protect America from another 9/11 happening, which the reason why 9/11 happened, fucking people didn't listen to the intelligence community about what was happening and how serious Al-Qaeda was. Whether you believe in, false flag or not, I'll say this much, dude. The Bush family came from an intelligence background, and it's funny that the Iraq and 9/11 happened because of intelligence fucking blunders. Go fucking figure that. Could be led to say that maybe they played dumb and allowed stuff to happen.
There's a lot of people did like investigative reporting and independent journalism, and there's a lot. If you're someone that likes to look into these type of things that Kyle's talking about right now on the Swanglin Show, if you dig deep enough, you can find out some real truths to a lot of the political ramifications and a lot of scenarios that have happened in our country's history, especially around the time period that he's referencing, that may shock you and blow your mind. And there's some really fucking really good journalism and really good investigative reporting that was done, not by the major networks, but by people that are out here trying to really get to the truth. And there's crazy fucking amount of shit that you can reference into exactly what you were talking about. Now, we're snowed in this bitch, right? We might be snowed in this motherfucker tomorrow too. So shit, you never know. It could be Swanglin on Ice Part 2.
Double episodes. Who the fuck knows? Maybe you guys will get lucky and get another one.
You never know. Now, we kind of came into this episode with less of a clear and defined vision of like a singular topic to talk about, which is kind of the format that we've been using over the last couple of weeks. As we've really been doing we've been really doing some really fucking deep and informative and great conversations with the squad on the one and only Squad Cast, as coined by the homie Mr. Grips. Mr. Grips, the Swanglin heavyweight champion out there in South Florida, has coined this, the one and only Squad Cast. That sounds like something you would hear him say at an amusement park at Cedar Point on the loudspeaker. The one and only Squad Cast. Say it, Kyle.
Squad Cast.
Exactly. It's perfect. It sticks like fucking glue. Holy shit. I feel like something just happened and your whole mood has changed. What's going on?
There was a text that came up and I was trying to read it real quick, but we're all good. No.
Oh, I was hoping that maybe, your taxes had dropped or something monumental may have happened live on the Swanglin Show. But otherwise, no, we're just going to have to deal with this fucking wild ass conversation that we're having during Swanglin on Ice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever, since it's Swanglin on Ice, have you ever played hockey, ice hockey?
Yes, dude. We played ice hockey, and we would play on driveways and stuff. And the Catholic school in town had like a pavement for their playgrounds and stuff. And you see people and like all year round, be like doing some hockey there at different points. Now I'm left-handed. Most people are like right-handed, so they would curve their fucking hockey stick to fit that. I never actually curved mine to the left though. I always kept it flat because I could go like right and left, and so I usually never curved my hockey stick.
I never played as far as like actually being on ice skates. We would just, be in the fucking street kind of, and it wasn't like the most frequent thing. In the city where I grew up, there wasn't really a hockey program or anything like that for kids to play. Yeah, so it's kind of just in the street fucking around with it when it snowed or was fucking, neighborhood kids and shit. But I've always kind of been enamored by the sport of hockey, and hockey's always just kind of gives you that fucking wintertime vibe because they're on the ice and they're out there getting it popping, beating each other up in the fist fights and shit.
Yeah, they let them beat each other up. That's amazing. I can't believe that still happens. It's awesome.
Absolutely. We should definitely put together some type of Swanglin affair and hit a fucking NHL game. We go check out the Red Wings or the Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets, dude. I heard that the Blue Jackets,
go out
the Honey,
and watch,
whatever it is amazing.
We could maybe even go as far as watching the fucking Penguins or
Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks. Or we could go. We could maybe even head out there to Buffalo and go watch the fucking Sabres.
That's true. That's a good idea to go up that way.
If we are up that way, you know what we have to do. We must have to double up, frequent back to that dinosaur barbecue out there in Buffalo, New York. That's fucking fire.
Yes, dude, for real. That would be the reason to go. And then the hockey would be just icing on the cake.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also when you're up in that area, you gotta slide over to Niagara and check out the fucking beautiful fucking scenery and waterfalls and just seeing, we went up there, me and my lady, not too long ago, and just seeing the atmosphere of that just most powerful fucking piece of nature is enough to just kind of fucking cleanse you a little bit, reset you a little bit, get your mind right. Then you go take your fucking soggy ass down there to the fucking barbecue spot. You get that big ass fucking plate, dude. Hook yourself up. You'll be good to go. Get you on the highway.
Yeah, dude.
Take your fucking ass home, you little son of a bitch.
It's a sight to see, though. The Niagara Falls is something else. And you don't understand until you're there standing in front of it that, like, wow, that is, it's natural, dude. It's just like this natural waterfall. It is something to behold. It is one of America's, like, great things, like the Grand Canyon and stuff. Like, you really don't understand what it is till you're in front of it and it's right there.
Well, this is one thing that pops into my mind when I'm talking about the ice storm in the snow, fall, and shit, dude, is I want to give a major shout out to everybody who fucking slipped and busted their fucking ass today going to their vehicle and they came off the porch. And also a shout out to the people that watched it happen and had the best chuckle that they've ever had in their fucking life.
Yeah.
So shout out to that whole scenario, because I've been on both sides of that coin. I've been the one that fucking fell down the steps in front of a bunch of people. But I've also been the one that sat there and went, holy shit, that was awesome that this fucking dude just fell down the fucking steps.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, especially if like you're like they can't like, because you want to bust out laughing sometimes when you see that. So especially if they don't like hear you or nothing, like if you got like a window between you or something, like especially if you like see it and you can get a good chuckle out of it, like you can't keep your mouth, you know, because I've seen girlfriends bite the dust before and
yeah, dude,
you can't really laugh as much as you want to.
Well, you can.
But you're right, though, because I've busted my ass in front of girlfriends and stuff like that, too. And they've laughed their ass off every single fucking time.
Oh, yeah. Now, wintertime fucking being snowed in around here, it's fucking insane. You can't even go to the fucking grocery store. Everybody buys all the fucking toilet paper and all the fucking milk and all this fucking crazy shit. People while out when these storms happen and almost act like they never seen nothing like this before. So I would imagine it's probably an inconvenience to somebody like you who has children in the home, and you probably got to run your house a little fly by night in some aspects as things go along, because you have so many kids in the house and shit. So
yeah,
you know, to make a trip down to the store and see they got nothing, you're probably like, oh, what the fuck, B? What's going on?
Yeah. I went to the store today. There was no bread, no like sliced bread. They had bread from their bakery still. So I actually bought a few loaves of that. We can cut it ourselves, whatever. And yeah, we kind of do. I don't want to say fly by night, but like we'll have a lot of like flour and seasonings and spices and stuff. We'll have all that. We just need like the meat for the meal. Like, are we gonna do chicken? Are we gonna do beef? We're gonna do like fish. What are we doing? And then we'll go from there and figure out. You know, we usually have most of the stuff that we need, but if there's one or two seasonings we don't have, we'll pick that up and then, you know, get it going, grill it, cook it, bake it, you know, fry it, however we're going to cook it.
I love in the fucking cold weather months, man. I like them fucking crock pot meals. I like soups, man.
Yeah.
I like the shit that slow cooks all day. I'm thinking about, like I was telling you on the phone the other day, I got some whole chickens. I'm about to bust these motherfuckers down and make me some chicken noodle soup or something, or maybe chicken and rice with some wild shit going on there tomorrow if we get level 3'd and locked in once again. So as of right now,
we'll see.
The county that I'm in is at a level 3 snow emergency, which means emergency vehicles on the road only. The county that you live in and drive through also would be a level 3 scenario. So we're going to keep you guys posted and probably do a whole bunch of fucking podcasting and Swanglin on ice out here for you guys over the next couple of days. So we're going to have some real cool stories to tell, man. I want to bring up something, dude, that's fucking throwback memory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you remember it was right when you dropped the Lefty Grove Lick album?
Yep.
We did the
like 2015.
Yeah, we did the release party, right?
Yes.
And there's a bunch of good live music in the house. We were chilling out in Cary, Ohio, the home birthplace of the Newkleus. What was the name of that venue at that time?
It was Patio 307, I want to say, or 309 or something.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But it's changed now. Yeah, it's changed now.
And we had a bunch of homies were in the house. You had a DJ travel out from the Quad Cities.
Yep.
You had the fucking CJ De Niro was in the house. You know what I'm saying? The homie Mark James, rest in peace, was in the house, man. And
that's right. Rest in peace, Mark James.
Stan Edwards Jr., the rapper Keek in the building. A bunch of shit was going down. We had it popping out in Cary, Ohio. So I just wanted to bring that up and give you a brief rewind in time of an accomplishment of your own, man. It give you some flowers. And remember when we did that album party in your city and it was smacking and everybody loved the album? Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, dude, it was packed. Everyone dug it, and I made sure the openers that everyone we brought on was competent, really good artists and really good performers. And so it was just, you know, great guy after great guy after great guy, and then it led to me finishing it out. And like CJ De Niro was there. It was an impromptu performance. And I remember like talking with the DJ, because the DJ wasn't from here. He's not from Ohio at all. And he wasn't really aware of CJ besides what I'd played for him. So I go over to him. I'm like, hey, we're going to put this guy on stage. And he was we had talked about like a set kind of thing on the drive from the Quad Cities where I was living to there. And he's kind of looking at me like, you know, this is totally off of like what we talked about. And I'm like, look, dude, if CJ De Niro wants to perform at your fucking party, CJ De Niro is fucking performing at your fucking party. But once CJ performed, he got it. Like, he totally got it. Like, and afterwards we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, he's really good. And, you know, X, Y, and Z. But he was just looking at me because we had gone over a certain way we were going to do things. And that totally was out of breach of what we had talked about.
Oh, yeah. And I think a lot of, you know, a lot of people, man, sleep on CJ De Niro. But if the motherfucker ain't just the king of the wing, motherfucker's got a fire music catalog. He's probably one of the people who I believe in sonically more than anybody, just because I seen the way he gets down in the studio, the way he prepares, the way he thinks about songwriting. The dude's got the fucking juice, the king of the wing.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and buy that fucking plate or whatever from Nunu's Kitchen. You get that fucking chicken wings and shit. Get you the loaded up fries, the Ashy Larry, the whole fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? But when you're eating it, make sure you go back and you check out pieces of his catalog, like the MGM Grand series and shit.
All green lights.
Check out the
Everything's
MPK. Take it back even farther than that, the MPK series. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's not to mention the All In album. That's not to mention the No More Sucker Shit album. That's not to mention the mixtapes upon mixtapes upon fucking mixtapes, dude. I mean, it's insane. If you get some time and you're listening to the Swanglin Show, man, go wrap your brain around the fucking amazing catalog that is the Conspiracy Family's own CJ De Niro, because that will be well worth it. What's your favorite De Niro record, Nuke?
Album or song? What do you mean?
No,
song?
Shit. It don't matter. What's your favorite album and song?
Okay, favorite song is, I think it was called like Theme Music 2 or 3. That was dope. It was a concept. I was like, you know what, you should do a song like this. And then that was kind of what he had done with it. And I was like, oh shit, dude. Because he had taken this idea. I was telling him about a dope song that he had just had. And I said, you should really sample this one line from the song and make a whole other song about it, because it would be dope. And then he kind of flipped it and ran with it. And it came out even better than I couldn't imagine. When I heard it, I'm like, oh my God. But then the best album, the most recent one, whatever he's doing most recent is my favorite, dude, because I play it over and over. He's just getting better and better, man. Trying to think. The first one that when I really started rocking with them was the MPK, I want to say 3, was just coming out. And that's when we all kind of linked up around that same time. So if you want to talk about sentimental value, probably the first was because it was the first thing I fucked with, and it was really good, man. That was a good record.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like we could talk about fucking CJ's catalog all day, because that dude records.
There's a lot there, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot there.
He records like a fucking madman. He's got the fucking juice. You get the integrity when it's going down with the Conspiracy Family, and that's just something I wanted to touch base on, you know. And like a lot of people that may be listening to the Swanglin Show, maybe they're not going back and they're not digesting some of the music and some of the other things that may give them some backstories and give them a little bit more of some undertone layers of who we are and what we've been through in our life and what, you know, like what our experiences have been coming up in, you know, the family's so deep. We're all over the fucking country. We're in Florida and we're in Ohio and we were in Iowa.
Yeah.
We're in the fucking Carolinas and we're in the fucking they got mad love in Tennessee and we're super deep in Arkansas, and You know, we used to fucking make trips to Indiana and Kentucky and PA and fucking Michigan and fucking go to New
Put it
York
down.
and fucking go to Florida and go to all these places and just fucking put it down, dude. And people, I feel like a lot of people that don't know us personally don't may not know where some of our experience comes from when we talk about shit on the Swanglin Show. So I wanted to start digging deep a little bit. I have over the last couple episodes of just asking random questions and saying things specifically to just kind of open up some stuff about the people that appear on this show and contribute to this show. So we want to give the flowers to the homie CJ De Niro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We
There's a
want to
reason.
definitely did give the flowers to the homie Marinated Mish
Yeah.
down there in Arkansas. What was that song you were talking about earlier?
All green lights, bro. I just was listening. I bumped that shit loud as fuck yesterday, bro. Like,
No,
that
that's
shit
not the
still
song I'm talking
slams.
about. Yeah, that song is a straight banger. Had tons of radio rotation.
Oh,
a bunch of
theme music?
No, you're talking about that country song about Arkansas.
Oh, Chris Stapleton, a country artist from Kentucky. He lives out in LA now. He's fucking big. He's sold a ton of records. Male vocalist of the year like 5 times. He did a song called Arkansas on his latest record. Came out in November of like a year and some change ago, and it is Arkansas is so throwed that Chris Stapleton wrote a song about it, man. Like, that's all I gotta say. And the song fits that vibe perfectly. If you go and listen to that, it is Arkansas. Like, what we experience and what we know of Arkansas is like a place to go. And it's wild. It's a wild and crazy place to have a good time. And just, that Chris Stapleton song is hilarious. I was listening to it with my girlfriend and was like, look, this guy gets it. He knows. He's been there. He knows. He knows what it's like.
So we're going to use that. I had to bring that up just to use that as a segue to say and give a major fucking shout out to the fucking conspiracy family out there in Arkansas, man. Shout out to Marinated Mitch. Shout out to Freaky. Shout out to fucking
I love all you guys.
Shout out to Vinny. Shout out to fucking Push. Shout out to Mr. Rage, man, forever. R.I.P. Got it fucking tatted on
Swanglin Eternal.
Got it tatted on my body, dude. That's how much I fucking
What's
love
up, Rue? What's up, Dave?
Yeah, shout out the whole conspiracy Arkansas family. You know what I'm saying? And coming in like a fucking wrecking ball, man, on behalf of the fucking Dirty South squad of the Arkansas home base of the fucking family, dude. Marinated Mitch, dude, he's on grips his ass, bro, for the fucking Swanglin Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
We're about to interject some new thing, dude, to where it's like when he gets to that, if they ever become tied for the Swanglin Heavyweight Championship, they're going to have to duel in some way, shape, or form. And that's when it's going to become the title defense. And there can either be a new champion crowned or that person keeps the fucking title going forward.
Dude, we could do like some like Mr. H trivia.
That's not really fair.
Well, you're right, because Mitch does no longer. But I'm talking about some obscure music shit or something. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm thinking it's
now they're gonna brush up on it.
It's definitely gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see what happens and see how things unfold when we deal with the first ever in history Swanglin Championship title defense, which is gonna be coming up soon. I'm gonna get my Don King on. I'm gonna get my fucking. We're gonna promote this fucking thing. It's gonna be of Swanglin proportions. Maybe you'll be snowed in that day. Maybe you'll be Swanglin on ice in more ways than one. You never know. Speaking of Swanglin on ice, have you ever in your life went ice fishing?
No. Have you?
No, I never have, but I don't think I would fucking get into being in the cold and just trying to catch a fucking fish. I'd be down to doing some fishing in like tropical environment. Take me down to Florida or something. Put me on a charter boat, dude. I'm fisherman. I don't fish though. Really, to be honest, but I am the dude that will take your fish and fillet them to perfection and cook them in a manner and wish you fucking paid me for it, you little son of a bitch.
Now I've fished. I'm not a big fisherman, but like I have ate what I've caught before, and like all that jazz. But I've also like, dude, like my dream fishing trip is I want to go down the Mississippi River, like all the way from the beginning all the way down to the Gulf, and I would imagine that we'd be catching catfish along the way and whatnot.
So okay, I'm not the huge geographic expert, but like past Memphis. Where does it go? Through Alabama or Mississippi?
It goes through Louisiana and I want to say like the border of Louisiana, Mississippi for a bit, and then it goes down to the Gulf from there. But from upwards, it starts in Minnesota. So it goes from Minnesota to this like little blip all the way to like through Chicago. Like you have to, if you are to actually go on a boat, you can't fully go through that area. You have to take your boat out and then drive, like, I want to say like 40 miles and then get back in the river, just because there's these lock and dam situations that they got set up to move the water around Chicago.
That's crazy.
But it's a massive river. I used to live by it, so it's like a thing I would like to go down it now that I lived near it for a few, like 5 years.
So maybe one day we'll be talking about like episode 46, Swanglin in the River. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, that would be insane. Because like when cooked properly, like, cause when I cooked, one of my friends, he had gone to culinary school, so he knew how to cook fish. So like, not only did we like catch it, but like we had it cooked for us about as good as you're gonna get it cooked, like fresh, and so it was phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal. So I mean, but there's other fish you can catch though too that are perfect, like eat. Like you can catch tuna out there in Florida, like you're talking about. There's some good eatings out there.
Some good eatings. You fucking pulled out that fucking, what was that goddamn Portsmouth, Ohio fucking vibe, dude? The fucking
that is like some
that
Kentucky
fucking
shit or something. I don't know.
North Kentucky fucking Ohio River vibe you just gave off there. But it's all good, man. I appreciate you always coming through on the Swanglin Show, bro, and chopping it up around these snow days. It's been episode, believe it or not, Kyle, this is episode 29, bro, of the Swanglin Show.
Oh, dude, we are so close.
The next one after this, man, we're talking about the Swanglin Show Dirty 30.
Dirty 30. That's going to be perfect, dude. We should do... well, I mean, we'll be talking about the Super Bowl, and I'm sure some crazy ass shit's going to happen with the performances. We got like, or it'll be maybe even before the Super Bowl because we got tomorrow. But there's the Super Bowl has Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Snoop Dogg. Like, it's going to be crazy. Like, so I'm sure there's going to be stuff to talk about that happened with crazy commercials with that. Like, so whatever episode 30 happens, I'm sure it's going to have a lot. It's going to be amazing.
Well, episode 30 is definitely going to be amazing. There's no question about that. And all the other episodes of the Swanglin Show are amazing too, as far as I'm fucking concerned. Even the one where we fucking suck and don't know what we're doing because we're building something from the fucking ground up. We're called the Squadcast, and it's going down like a motherfucker. Episode 29, I'm fucking trapped in the fucking snow. Help me. Level 3 out here in the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You can catch me playing video games and eating pizza rolls, dude. I felt like a fucking 12-year-old today. I stayed home from fucking work. Me and my old lady are fucking having pizza rolls for lunch at fucking noon. We're still in our PJs. She's fucking preparing for college testing. I'm just lounging around the house, enjoying the fact that it's a snow day. I get to do a podcast with the homie also during the day. I'm feeling good. Hope that everybody that listens to the Swanglin Show is doing good and feeling good as well as we swangle to the motherfucking floor. It's Joshua P. Dunn representing for Swanglin with my co-host Kyle Newkleus, whole singer, the fickle freckle boy living in the sea. Drop that final thought on him, Kyle, as we close out the show.
Well, I had a question for you. The final thought then. All right, so we are going to go make some stir fry. You're a great cook. Any pointers on how to cook some stir fry?
Well, okay. So here's an ultimate thing for me. Are you using what's your protein source? You using chicken or using beef?
Chicken.
Okay. So if I'm using chicken to make a stir fry, are you making the sauce from scratch or are you using a bottle?
Well, I got soy sauce like from a bottle.
Okay.
The Kikkoman's, whatever, the regular.
I think one thing for me that I like when I'm cooking at home, if I'm making any type of Asian inspired food, like a stir fry or like a fried rice or anything like that at all, dude, I've always got to fuck with the sesame oil. You know what I'm saying? So if you got some sesame oil, that's crucial. Do some cooking with the goddamn sesame oil. You can always add a sweetness element to your stir fry sauce by using a little bit of brown sugar or sweetener like honey, and maybe balancing it out with some heat with some crushed red pepper or something. You know what I mean? Just to kind of balance it out. You could also, depending on what you're doing with the stir fry, you could also add an element of citrus in there as well.
Oh shit, that's something I would have never guessed. But
yeah, but if you're gonna add the citrus, I would add it at the end, like as you're serving it, to liven it up.
Yeah, I got some green pepper, bell pepper that I'm going to put in with the rice, and I want to say onion. But yeah,
onion.
Yeah, with some chicken, and some rice, pepper, onion, carrots, and that's I'm pretty sure that's all we got for that. But I mean, we do have a few extra vegetables. I don't have the sesame oil though, but I know what you're talking about. I've bought that before. Years ago, I had sesame oil. I can get more after the level 3 is done.
Oh, for sure, dude. I love Asian food in general. So like, I went through this period where like, I used to work in kitchens, commercial kitchens, cooking, you know what I mean? Short order cooking and doing stuff like that as a job for many, many years, from different, breakfast places to higher up places, even to cooking in places. So when I would want to experiment and like make new stuff, I would always look at the essential ingredients for regional dishes. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you want to know what a pizza is supposed to fucking taste like, there's a certain place in a certain country in this fucking world where you're going to get the bare bones, and you need to know what the high-end ingredients are that comes from the best regions. And you need to know what you need to have and what are the crucial components to the type of dishes that you're trying to make. So for me, I went through a little phase where I was wanting Asian food all the time, wanting stir fries and wanting to learn how to make egg rolls and wanting to learn how to make spring rolls and all this fucking crazy shit. So I developed to learn an importance for a high-end sesame oil, and also different types of rice vinegar as well, because it's highly used in different Asian, and then also, if you're making the Asian dishes, it's always a good look to maybe look into some different types of sake,
Yeah. Well, there's also soju in Korea, very similar thing. But so you were saying rice vinegar, like cooking with that? Like, what's up with that?
Well, rice vinegar is just like it's a fucking ingredient is used in a lot of Asian style cooking to kind of create this fucking tart balance off of the saltiness of a soy sauce or something else. It just kind of widens the flavor range a little bit. And now there's also, different Chinese and Japanese cooking wines as well that are also worth looking into. If you're really into some Asian food, there's a lot of flavor profiles that comes from certain places that maybe you wouldn't think. Like maybe you don't know to grab that ginger root to grate the
Yeah.
ginger in your Asian food to get that little zing out of it that you get. Or like a lot of the times you go to the Chinese restaurant or the Asian restaurant in your local community, and it's got the MSG in it, so it makes you feel different than when you make something
Yeah.
at home. So you gotta know what it is that's going on to be able to prepare it the way that you like it. So I'm glad that you're asking questions and kind of giving me my flowers on being a cook, because I'm pretty good, but I'm not that good. I hold it down though. You know, I'm pretty sure that the woman that gets to eat this cooking all the time is real happy with these plates that I'm whipping out at the house for sure.
Yeah. The whole squad can cook. I mean, it's like we got CJ, EJ, fucking you, like everyone. We had to learn to cook for ourselves, and like you did it for a job. EJ's done it for a job. CJ, you guys made a living out of it at one point or another. And when we get together, though, we always end up if we don't order something real quick, we're always cooking really good food, and that's another good part of when we do kick it.
I know, and it's awesome to see EJ and CJ both of them popping off, selling fucking food and doing well with it, dude. I love seeing that shit happen, because it's like, you know that these dudes are battle tested, man. They've been through the fucking ringer with this shit. They know what they're doing. So to see them get the success that they deserve is like fucking holding it down. That's what Swanglers do, is we win, and people that come on the Swanglin Show are winners. So if you ever want to come on the Swanglin Show because you're just naturally a winner, send us an email, man, and we'll put you on the fucking Swangler. Episode 29.
Yep.
Joshua P. Dunn, Kyle Newkleus, Holsinger, Fickle Freckle Boy, state champion, living in the sea, the stir fry whipping, whip it like it's stir fry. Isn't that a song that's popping right now?
Yeah, there's something like that with stir fry. There's always it's a great reference. I know Migos got a stir fry song.
Oh yeah, so we're holding it down in the stir fry kitchen. We're gonna see it next time. Episode 30, Dirty 30 of the Swanglin Show is coming soon, you little son of a bitch.